This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Welcome back, everyone. It is a type of therapy that can truly help you express yourself, make change in your life, transform you, get rid of limiting beliefs even. And it's called drama therapy. How does somebody practice that as a practitioner? How do you get certified? We're going to find out more about that and how this wonderful modality works. She is a registered drama therapist, and great to have her back. Learn so much every time we get together with Sally Bailey on the show. How you doing today?
Good. Great.
So I've always wondered about this. Were you a therapist first and then got certified in drama therapy, or were you into drama and then the other way around?
That is a really good question. I was in theater for about 13 years and then discovered that drama therapy existed and went, wait a minute. I think back when I was in high school, I was torn between theater and psychology. Maybe this is something that I should look into. So I did, and I discovered that, yes, it was a perfect way to use the skills that I'd learned as a theater director, but to help people work out their problems. But I had a lot of training to do in addition to just the theater training, which I already had under my belt. I had to learn a lot about how do you use drama safely with people? How do you get them to work through a problem? How do you use distancing and other techniques in drama therapy? How do you learn specific drama therapy methods? So there's a lot more to it than just doing theater with people, because you're doing it for a purpose. And when you train people in drama therapy, you want to make sure that they have at least some background in theater, that they have some knowledge of improvisation, because a lot of theater, a lot of drama therapy is based on improvisationally using drama. And some people don't study improvisation in theater school. They only study scenes, memorize scenes and practice them. And so they feel very, very afraid to improvise. And
Yep.
that doesn't help. That
Uh,
doesn't help.
I feel that you're so good at what you do because of your theater background or drama background first. And far from the expert over here, very far from the expert. But I would think that that's the way it needs to be for the most effective outcome in helping people. Not to say it can't go the other way around, but and you did say you've got to have some kind of background in drama or theater, something,
Right.
an
Yeah,
understanding.
And I really have found that the students that I've had, if they started in theater, they did much better than if they started in psychology and had no theater background.
Yep.
They're much too inhibited. They're not willing to step out and take a risk, and certainly not able to take a risk as a leader of a group. And a lot of people who are actors, they don't run groups, they're part of groups. You know, they're part of a cast. But a director has to kind of see the whole thing and keep everybody safe. So in drama therapy school, usually you come already with the theater skills, and then you learn how to use the theater skills therapeutically in drama therapy classes. And you also take psychology classes to understand psychologically what's going on. Usually a group processes class, usually a theories of personality class or theories of counseling, usually multicultural counseling, because you work with a lot of different kinds of people, ethics, because you have to know how to keep people safe and where boundaries are and how to set boundaries. And then you also have to practice with supervision. So you do internship hours
Wow.
And you have to work with at least two different populations. So a population would be in terms of age group, like child, adolescent, adult, older adult, or diagnosis. So you could work with, say, children on the autism spectrum and adults on the autism spectrum, and they would be very different because they're at different ages. Um, but most of the time, you usually have different experiences also to understand that some things translate to just about any group and other things do not work with certain groups or will be unsuccessful or unsafe with a specific group.
Do you find that there's something magical about improv?
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people get a lot of therapeutic benefit just from taking basic improv classes.
Mm.
But if you tried to go to an improv class and work out a problem that you had, the person who was the teacher or director of the class wouldn't know how to guide that improv to help you work through the problem because they're just a theater person. And I mean, I personally think theater is as difficult as being a brain surgeon. It's just in that field to be a really good actor or a really good director, you have to know a lot of skills. But the skills of keeping people safe and guiding them toward growth are not part of the skill set you learn in drama school.
How does it work? And you mentioned it before that there can be some productions where there is lines memorized and scenes and things like that. How is that created and supporting somebody who, or a group of people who have challenges, and they may have all different challenges?
Well, part of that is often that is a play that they've helped create. So they're speaking about something that's important to them. When I worked with recovering drug addicts, we would always pick something that was about an issue they were dealing with, spirituality that they were struggling with, or getting along with other people, and we'd create some kind of a short play about that. Um,
Well, let me jump in if I may here at that point. What you're creating there, is that for one individual, that production just focusing on one individual's challenges or goals to change their life, or are you taking the group and a little piece of this person, a little piece of that person, a little one there, and creating this production that has lines that needs to be memorized and scenes? How does that work?
you take a little piece from everybody.
Okay.
And
Oh,
often in a group, you will have similar issues. For instance, right after the pandemic, when I was working with my barrier free theater group, they all had social issues because they'd all been in uh, lockdown for some of them for 2 years. And they hadn't dealt with anybody who wasn't in their group home. And they had lost the ability to work with other people and to, you know, work out problems, talk through things. So we really had to do a lot of work both through the play, but then also through the working on the play to learn how to treat each other civilly again and to have give and take.
at that for that situation with social interaction, did you find that the pandemic exasperated challenges that were already there? Maybe they some had some social anxiety here and there, maybe lower level or under the radar. Now this all took place. Now there was isolation. Now we're back together again. Now it's very apparent to those people and many of us that, oh, I didn't realize I have some challenges with that.
Yeah, that is very true. That
Mm.
that happened. Things blew up into a big mess sometimes, and we just have to stop and talk through it. And we got to the point where after a year, we were back where we were before the pandemic. But it took a lot of careful thought. And I had really great students who were able to take people aside and work with them.
With those productions that have lines and scenes and you have to remember them. How does that work? Are you writing a script? Is everybody collectively writing it? Or here's my scene, here's your scene. Oh, Jim's got his right there.
It depends. Sometimes you can split it up if you've got a really literate group. They can write certain pieces. Otherwise, you can kind of improvise scenes and record the improvisation and take the essence of the scene to write into a script. You can work through the story and get people to choose a character that they want to play, and then help that character express him or herself the way they best could memorize or carry the scene. Like there's some people who can't initiate action, but they can initiate action if somebody else asks them a question that they know
Uh,
the answer to. So as a playwright, I can make sure that they will have success in that moment by tweaking how a scene unfolds.
I see this in now a different light where it's almost custom. You're creating the scene, the lines for each particular person and where their comfortability is
Mhm.
with that. Not their skills or anything like that, but some of us, I see it, initiating a scene or somebody asking them a question. It's very radically different. Can be unnerving.
Yeah, yeah. So it's really an art to weave it together. It's almost like weaving a play when you're creating something for a group. And some people um, can do anything you write for them, and other people have to have short lines, or they have to have questions, and after you know people and worked with them for a while, you're able to weave better and better plays for them.
It's Sally, it's like you're a master chef and you're taking the ingredients that you have and you've learned the ingredients. And let's say you have plum tomatoes. Well, you can get them from anywhere, but you got plum tomatoes from Spain. I don't know, pick any place. And these tomatoes are a little bit different than the ones that come from Costa Rica or wherever. So now you have to use them the best way you can for the tomato and also for the production. But I think that comes with your drama experience, being able to read people.
Exactly,
Mm.
exactly. And understanding how a play is structured. So then you're weaving it well so that you end up with a climax at the end, not at the beginning, and that it all fits together really well.
Do you record the productions and then watch them back with
Oh, yeah. Oh, I
yeah?
think that's really important because people who are in a play don't see it. They don't see what wonderful work they're doing. So I always try to have some kind of a DVD, previously VHS, whatever the, you know, media was, so that they can see. And I make sure everybody has a copy. And I think that's part of the therapy too,
I get it.
because they can see proof that they have achieved something
Are
and that
there
something was funny.
are there costumes when you
Oh,
do
yeah.
these? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. In
Mm.
fact, I'm working on a costume now. I had an actor come in last week and decide that she wanted to be a cheetah this year. And she always uses the same costume for the play as for Halloween, so that means I have to put together her cheetah costume now, so that she can use it at Halloween. And then she gets to keep it. She brought in pieces for the costume. She gets to keep it when the play is done, and she's got it.
Wow. So cool. How do you get how do you help people get over being nervous, being shy, feeling vulnerable? Because it's one thing to do a production where you have Macbeth. It's already been written. There it is. You're a certain actor or actress in that. This is about you. There's a lot there.
Well, and I always tell actors way before the production, like a couple of weeks, and repeat it every week. When you're out there, don't think about how nervous you are. Keep breathing and think
Mm,
about the moment that you're in. And don't stop breathing whenever you feel those butterflies, take some deep breaths slowly, because you're leaving your body, you're not focusing on the moment, and you need to be on stage with the other actors. And after being reminded, then they're able to actually do that. And they are also allowed to improv. So if somebody forgets a line and somebody else knows what that line is, they can ask a question to get that person to remember the line. Like, we need to go to the store. Um, I think we need to buy some bread, don't you? Oh, we need to go to the store. We don't have it here. And that, just comes out of their own creativity. They're improvising in the moment, but then they're also learning how to solve a problem.
So what I'm getting is from you that you don't have to follow the script exactly. The premise is going to the store, and maybe you might throw up, I'm going to the store to get bread. You may just blurt out, I'm going to the store to get bread, milk, and Twinkies. I love Twinkies. My things come up, but it's okay.
Or you could say, I'm going to the store to buy bread. Do you want to come along? And the
Sure.
person who's forgotten the line doesn't appear that they've forgotten their line. They're just saying, oh yeah, I want to go to the store too.
Do you find that when you do this, people start opening up to the point where it's just like flowing very easily?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Mm.
And
Got to
they
be the
feel,
beauty for you to see that
oh,
happen.
they feel so empowered. They
Mm.
feel just okay with themselves, that they belong. And that's often the people that you're working with in drama therapy don't feel like they don't belong in the world. And I think we all would be a lot happier if we all felt we belonged, and didn't have to feel like we're not wanted, or I have to have something so you can't have it. That we could just all share. And a lot of those themes ends up coming out of plays sometimes, because that's what people really do want deep down.
Don't we all, right?
Yeah.
Connection, love and connection, and to be accepted. Um, got an email, and this is from Kelsey in Dearborn, Michigan. She says, I recently found a center near me that does drama therapy. Can drama therapy help with depression?
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Especially if you're working with other people. Um, a lot of times when you're depressed, you're really isolated,
Mm.
and you're worried that other people won't accept you. But in a drama therapy group, everybody accepts everybody else and starts to laugh in a good way. People aren't laughed at, people are laughed with, and you begin to form new connections. So it's a great way to work on depression.
Mm.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Do people, when they first meet, or let's say a few meetings, start identifying why they're there? Yeah, you know what? I deal with depression, or yeah, I have a lot of anxiety. It usually happens at work, or whatever it may be. Are those challenges presented, and then that's where the journey begins within drama therapy?
Usually, usually they have identified something that they want to work on. Um, and if not, if they've been forced to do it, or sometimes you're assigned to a drama group, um, you discover as you work on things that, oh, this was really hard for me. So I might ask, why do you think that was hard for you? What was getting in your way? And so they might think, oh, well, because I don't trust people. Well, maybe we need to work on trust. Or, oh, because I can't hold two thoughts at the same time. Or I don't want to receive information from other people. And so you begin to find things that specifically that one person needs to work on. And you can just keep checking back on that. How do you feel now? How did that feel? And see how the changes are happening.
Do you always do improv before you do one of these big formal productions?
Um, to create a production, yes.
Okay. Hmm.
But before I do anything, I always do some kind of a warm up, and that might be a drama game, which involves some kind of improv or expression. Like the magic stick that we played with a couple weeks ago is a drama game. So that gets you warmed up and freeing yourself. Or there's a game, oh, there's so many games. There's a game called The Winds Are Blowing, which is my favorite game, where everybody is sitting around in a circle, but there's one less chair than people. So that person is in the middle, and they have to look at everybody and figure out who the wind is blowing for. And if you have that quality or like or dislike, you have to get up and get a new chair. And then I'm trying to get a chair. So somebody is left in the middle and they don't get eliminated. They're the new leader. So you're learning how to take leadership, and you're having lots of fun playing with people. So you get that play action going.
Would it be possible in the future when we get together to do one of those games that definitely involves improv? I've never done improv.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done skits on the radio and things like that. To be quite honest with you, back in the day, we used to do scam phone calls, crank phone calls, and they were real back then, before wiretap laws changed. But somebody would want to get a friend of theirs, just catch them, have fun with them. And I would get a premise. And then I had the opportunity to be whoever I wanted or this person that is calling them. I could be the guy at the auto shop, tell them they have, major problem with the car. So I get to morph into different personas. And then with that comes improv. That's the best I got. We'll have to see how it all works.
Well, there's only one main rule in improv, and that's yes and. You don't block what somebody has given you. You add to it. You work together as a team. So we can play yes and.
Curious. It's almost on the neurolinguistics programming side of things that I believe we should never use the word but. If you don't need to, why do it? Because it negates what you previously said. When you say and, you're just leading to something else. And I learned that from watching kids. Kid goes to the ice cream store and they had 32 flavors, and I got chocolate, and they had sprinkles, and I put gummy bears on top. You never hear them say but.
No, you
It's just
don't.
more
Because
positive.
they want it all.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't even know how that would go. The what is it? Yes and?
Yes and.
Hmm. We're gonna
We'll
put a
play yes
pin in
and
that.
another time. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
But ultimately, if somebody is a drama therapist, they will be registered as a drama therapist. So there is no license in a state for a drama therapy. There is a national registry. And so you would have RDT after your name, registered drama therapist.
Interesting. What is the final question? What's the qualification to be registered?
Well, what you do is you get a certain amount of required internship hours, courses in psychology and drama therapy, and a certain amount of theater experience. And then you practice under the supervision of another drama therapist who can help you figure out where your blind spots are and how to kind of yes and your way through a group, because there's all kinds of obstacles that come up in a group. And after you have 2,500 hours, you can apply for registry to the National Association or North American Drama Therapy Association. We changed our name a couple of years ago, and I always go to the old name. And the committee will look at your letters of recommendation and what you've done and a couple of essays that you write, and then they will say yes or no. So if they say no, they'll say no because you need to take more ethics classes, or you need blah, blah, blah. They'll tell you exactly what you need to still do. But you've been certified, but we don't call it certification, we call it registry.
What you do seems like it's so fun.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a joy.
It seems that way. And that would be fine in itself, but you're also helping people at the same time, which is, seals the deal. Your website, dramatherapycentral.com.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah. If anybody's got any questions, want to learn more about it, you are, in my world, the go-to for all of this. I don't know anybody else that has the passion, even for therapy in general, that you do. And you make this sound like it is a lot of fun. I got to believe I'm looking forward next time we get together and we could do the yes and game.
Okay.
Really
Yeah,
am.
we'll plan on that.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here today, Sally.
Absolutely.
Love it. We'll be right back.
Bye.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.